Dear teachers of our school, when you do your cleanup, you already get organized this way. Here are some updates for our kindergartens and our elementary grades. Okay, in a few words, we are not going to have any puppet show of any type. Okay? Not for regular days, not for special days, not for birthdays, nothing. They're not needed, not sustainable. We are just going to tell a story and they are really not needed. Always small dolls, and the very small doll's house, all those things are out, they are not needed. We are just gonna have the children's playhouse. That's it, okay? And here's some details I'm gonna tell you quick because you can already clean up all those things. They're not needed, not sustainable, they're too small. We have to focus on children playing with themselves instead of watching those puppet shows and things like that, okay? We are also not having fairies, we are not having gnomes, nothing of that. Not for puppet shows, not for decoration, not hung in a ceiling as chimes, nothing of that we will be using, okay? We're also not using the very long tent, right? That they are sewed in a fine fabric. We're not using any of that. We're just going to have the doll's house and a few other things that, yes, for them to play inside and create good things on that 1 hour that they play inside. They're still going to play inside 1 hour, free play, and they're still gonna play outside 1 hour with free play. The teachers can visit them here and there, help them or play with them a little bit, and they can also be guiding that activity, of the day. That also will have some activities inside, some activities outside. The same as Waldorf schools. They have their watercolor, what others are playing, and outside they are helping to fold little things. Depending on the weather, we're going to give some details afterwards. Which activity is going to be given inside and which activity is going to be done outside, okay? And they're also going to have time, 1 hour outside with planting, and some learning games, right? According to the plants, for them to slowly already start learning nutrients they have, what they're good for, in a natural, happy way. Okay, so all gnomes, all fairies going to be taken out during the 2 cleanup days, right? For all the schools, and images of fairies, images of gnomes, angels, all angels. If it's a doll, an angel, or something to hang, or images, all angels going to be taken out as well. We don't need none of them. We're also going to tell afterwards, along the year, we are going to have some rhythm with dramatization and some rhythm in circles, like usually is already done. A few activities like with verses, right, in circle. And some as dramatization as little, very short plays, right, that they're going to practice during that month. Will be a whole month, 4 weeks, and not 3 as done in Waldorf schools. Okay, so I'm already gonna say a few words for the doll's house, so you can already clean up everything that's not on that list. And if you are in a regular school, the kindergarten, already having computers and plastic toys, you already clean all up, and look online what's a Waldorf school look like, so you will have only those natural materials, okay? At the doll's house will be where the children play, not that very small one that have little dolls like 10 or 20 centimeters tall. Not that one I'm talking about. I'm talking about the one that the children can sit there, right? Can be 2 by 2, and they have a tent. They can have that, all right? Okay, so on that small doll's house, that's how we're going to call, so when the teachers talk to their children, they're gonna know. They're going to have 2 dolls, one boy, one girl, in brownish color, not dark brown, because in the future we are going to be more or less more like brown when we mix everyone's skin, right? All the Latins, black and white, and Asians and everyone ethnicity. So we are going to be more brownish. We're also going to take a lot of sun, eat very healthy. So 2 brownish dolls, the same color. All right, so it will be one boy, one girl. If you have questions, you wait for proper pictures before you purchase them. They're gonna be tall, we tell afterwards. Okay, so don't purchase. If you don't purchase anything new for now. We are going to have 4 sets for the boys' clothes and 4 sets for the girls' clothes. And for the dolls as well, gonna be 4 sets for the boy and 4 sets for the girls. The sets for the children in one basket and the sets of clothes for the dolls in another basket gonna be like this. One summer set, pretty to go out. One winter set, pretty to go out with a sweater and long pants, right? And the girl can have a dress. And gonna be 1 play clothes and 1 pajamas. Because it's important for the children to be manifest what they see at home, right? So it's important. It's a good practice, right? They're gonna manifest what they see at the school and they're gonna manifest what they see at home. And it's also good for the teachers to be observing how they play, discreetly observe how they're playing at school. And it's also forbidden, here is one addition to the parents' handbook, it's forbidden for the parents to tell their children, you're going to play like this, you're going to play like that, don't play like this, don't play like that. It's forbidden for parents to say that, because if they hurt their children, they cannot say for them to play only good things at school, okay? We want the children to be children and play whichever can. And the teachers gonna guide them if it's needed. Oh, let's play like this, but also gonna observe a lot, mostly for these 1st and 2nd years of our organization, to observe and guide them, but not ever say, don't play like this, don't play like that. We're gonna guide them, invite them to play happy games, can sit a little bit there at the doll's house and play good positive things. Oh, we're gonna have a party. Oh, it's the doll's birthday, or oh, this is a child's birthday. You can create things. It's good imagination, positive imagination. A boy or girl, a child itself can also have that birthday, but we're pretending time for that hour or so, that's fine. Okay, so the 2 clothes to go out are like dress-up clothes. Pretty, very pretty clothes. They also have 1 button, and is the dress code the same as for the adults. And they have 1 play clothes, a simple clothes with shorts, and a simple pajamas. Because also important for the children to be learning. Yes, in the morning they take pajamas out, even that they are authorized to use pajama until while they are in kindergarten, sleep with it for 1 day or another, only when really needed. But it's important for them to learn pajamas, clothes, clothes, right? And don't sleep with them. Okay, this doll's house won't have any sink, just gonna have a shelf, a pretty shelf that is quite a little deep, maybe about 25 centimeters, 20 is plenty, 20 centimeters deep, 2 shelves open, not a cabinet, because it will be easier for the teacher to look inside, the teacher couple, to look inside if all the pots are neat and how many are there if nothing is missing. The seeds, the students have to give to the teacher gonna put inside their own cabinet, in case come a new student, so that always the seeds that they play with, being the cooking seeds or the salad seeds, to put inside. Because if, they might have some small children, we don't want them to chew and have any choking hazards, because right now, for these 2 years or so, it's very important for us to pay attention with these details. Yes, they will have some wooden and some made crochet, some salads, some fruits, vegetables. We can have that too, because the elementary and middle school students will also be carving and working and sanding, so they can be doing those things for the little children, right? We're gonna tell details which grades they can do that. Okay, and when the teacher, the masonry teacher is teaching them, to prepare these things, or the handwork teacher gonna say, look, you have to focus. This is just a gift for the kindergarten. It's not for you to love it. It's not for you to be attached to it. We're just working our hands, working our brain, on how we can do good things. And it's, focus and repeat that. It's not to be attached to your work that you're doing. Even they can even carve little pots, right? And the metal ones is different. The metal one's gonna last for thousands of years. They're very strong and very durable. They can be made with iron, some small ones, or even aluminum, and they can play over and over, and no one gonna need to make new ones. And basically is that. So this is an idea. Instead of elementary and middle school, do handwork, wooden handwork, and bring home and have their home fill up with things. No, they just give to the kindergarten class. We're gonna tell details afterwards, but every few years or so, they can take them out, right, and burn them or something. Use them in a good way at the garden, right? Burn or turn into mulch, right? So new ones can be made, because that's a good way for us to be sustainable. Okay, the schools can have seeds for fun, right? That they can flip around for kindergartens, and we're gonna tell which grades, just 1 tree or so, right? And they can also need seeds for their counting on their math up to 4th grade. They need to have that over and over and over, for them to have the idea and the concept, because we have some children that don't have that properly, right? When is the proper age, as manipulative, connecting to math. So that's very important for them to have, okay? So we're gonna tell which trees, and I think 2, right? Always 2 trees, something that they have that can be fun, that can be happy, they can play when the seeds come up. But all the other trees, we're gonna focus in fruit trees, right? The very exception for trees that are not fruit trees or nuts, like not edible, not food, we can only have for each region if they're really good for the bees, right? And then I'm gonna tell how many, because some goes quite far into almost winter, that is good, and some are quite earlier on the even, depend the country, the main thing is for us to have flowers for the bees all year round, so they won't die, right? They need something from the vegetables we're planting, from the salads, right? We're also gonna leave them quite many for them to flourish and give nutrients for the bees all year round, because we need great pollinators, right? It's very important for us to care about the bees. So at this doll's house, we're going to have 1 basket with small fabrics and 1 basket with long fabrics. The long fabrics are like bed sheets. They're very long. Children can play around with them, up to single size, not the very long like queen size. They don't need that, but like single beds, more or less. We're gonna tell proper measurements afterwards. And they cannot cover anything, so they can put on a floor, those fabrics. For now, up to 2 years they cannot cover. On a future is okay, they can play a little bit of tents, but we're going to give exactly pictures of what they can do, of what they can do and what they cannot do. All right, gonna be everything at the teacher's manual, right? Okay, the seeds for eating, right? The little things to be mixing around and things like that. Gonna be very big seeds, and then we're gonna tell you afterwards which measurement they have. If you're doing your cleanup in your regular school, keep a little bit what you have. For example, if you have 2 dolls, right? Until we have a proper measure and proper dolls that's gonna be given for your children to play, keep 2 plastic dolls that are about, the biggest one that you have, such as 25 centimeters, about the closest one to 25 centimeters. I think that's reasonable, or 25 to 35, I think that's good, right? Keep the best clothes you have until the own students gonna be making these things, not parents, the own students. They're gonna be sewing, they're gonna be doing. Older students, elementary, middle school, we're gonna tell which ones. They're gonna be making the clothes, they're gonna be making things. Instead, as I said, instead of bringing home and have the home full of items that are not needed. For safety reasons, we are going to say exactly what is authorized to have as crochet, with or without padding inside, cotton, and which ones are authorized we are going to make in wood. So we're going to have specific patterns and pictures, how they have to look, measurements, everything really properly done for the older students, elementary, middle schools, to do it along the years. At the doll's house also have one basket that fits the boy and the girl beside each other, right? In the same strong, durable basket. We will tell you afterwards if the older students gonna learn how to make basketry or not, if that's needed or not, to carry vegetables and things, because we need to be sustainable. Instead of plastic bags, on the future we're not going to have all these plastic bags that we use nowadays, right? Okay, we're avoiding machines, so we have to find a way which plants we can use to make strong baskets just for the harvest, for the vegetables, for the families to have at the school to have, instead of using plastic bags. So we are doing basketry, and we will tell which plants need to be grown for that reason, right? And which age group they are going to make small baskets that they can use at the school, big baskets for the harvest, food harvest, and so on. We're also going to give proper instructions for the seeds that can be used, edible seeds, because that's what we're going to have the most, right? That can be used for timetables. The ones up to 4th grade, from 1st to 4th grade, yes, they use them. Even at the little children, they can play with some seeds at the table. Sort colors, without proper math. But on their heads, it can be little games. When they play inside the classroom, some children can sit, for 10 minutes or so and play with the seeds. A set of seeds of different colors, different shapes, start to name them. Can be different beans, different lentils, different things that they have at their own region, right? For now, we are going to have different colors because some of them will last for centuries. They're very hard, very strong, and very durable, right? And on the future, we are going to have from their own trees, right? And because that's important for them, right? To have manipulatives. The little ones at kindergarten, also elementary school, for timetables, right? All the math exercises that they are going to practice, not only jumping ropes, not only doing other games, as the sand bag that they threw, and other games without any objects. But we need a variety of things for these elementary children to be learning and really have a good base, a good math base for their future years of education. Okay, so to complete the kindergarten class, we're going to have two major places. One is the doll's house that I already talked about, and the other place is the building, right? The building, I don't know the word yet because I don't want to use the word corner, building corner, or building area. We find out the proper word afterwards. It's the building area for now. Okay, on this building area, they are going to have things to build only. The building items going to be wood. Also, a few things built by elementary students and a few things done by middle school. Not high school, because high school is already getting professionally. Middle and high school going to already be learning how to do tables and chairs and, a few things, because one day we're going to need, right? So they have to keep learning those things. Anyways, so at this building area, the kindergarten class going to have a few logs. We're going to say 408, about a meter or so that they can build around. Nothing too big, nothing huge. And they can have 4 wooden boxes, very strong, that they can flip, they can turn, and they can do different things. And they can also a few more things that but basically is that some logs and some boxes they can build and create different things. They can also use the table, so every kindergarten need 2 tables, right? One, to sit 6 kids, that's a perfect size. 6 kids, so every kindergarten gonna have 2 or 4 of those tables, right? And they can flip them around, they can pretend it's a boat, they can pretend it's a house, they can pretend and create in a good imagination, right? Doing good, positive things. This they can do. They can even play, land, we are seeing land. Or they go to an island, they have to come back. We just have to guide them on how to play in a positive way. And sometimes the teacher, every 2 months or so, for now, every month, the teachers have to say those things on how to play in a positive way. And after that, we are going to say if it's, I think 4 times a year will be planned. This conversation that they're going to talk now every month and afterwards 4 times a year going to be on how to play in a positive way. So if they pretend they're going to trip, all right, they're going to an island and have fun there, they can pretend. They're kindergarten, they need good imagination, right? So they can pretend they're going to the close island, things that belong to our reality, things that are authorized. Yes, we have some islands that are authorized, so need to be closed island. Oh, I can see the island. Okay, they go, they have fun, they come back at the end of the day. They always have to come back. Okay, so some islands do have hotels, so they can stay in a hotel and have fun and play in a pool or play at the beach or whichever they're doing that at that island, have fun, and they come back home. So if they're playing with their at the house, they're going on a trip, the doll's house, for example. It's okay, they can go, their family, they're going on a trip, they have to come back before the end of the playtime. Even that is last few minutes, suddenly they pay attention that the teacher is already singing cleanup time, right? So when they hear that song, if they forgot, one of them have to be fast and remember, we have to come back from the trip. All right, they got their airplane and they came back home. Oh, that was really a wonderful trip. Something like that. They always have to come back to their proper location. Come back home, okay? They can play some hunting as well. Kind hunting, Okay, they can play because in the future we are keep hunting and hunting until all the negative animals that we already talked about, they're going to be extinct, because we're focusing more, as I already said, our biodiversity will be in microbes and bacteria, and not in animals themselves. All right, so they can play those two locations, the building area and the doll's house area, when the children are playing inside the class for that hour or so. It won't be the whole hour, because they also every day they're gonna have an extra activity. Gonna be about 30-40 minutes, right? Because activity is gonna be held and children are invited also to do the activity. They can play hunting. How that will be that hunting? The kindest possible, because they have to get into it, but not the very harmful ones, or not getting huge animals. No, regular animals, it's okay. So they cannot talk about getting whales or sharks. They're too big. So let's focus on smaller animals, okay? And the teacher on that explanation, right? Gonna also teach. Here you can play that you're hunting, for example, small animals. They can hunt, for example, bunnies. They can hunt, or deers. No, deers I guess is already too big. Okay, we're going to give details on which animals they can play inside the. The other thing is that they can also play that they saw a good animal, but it's not the day to hunt. Or they are in a trip with their family. They are not the hunters, so the animal was free. They can play that at kindergarten. They can play that, pretend those things. Okay, why is that? Because we don't want them to feel that every animal it's to hurt them, right? Or they have to kill them, because they're children, right? They're children. Even elementary schools are going to have stories like that. They're children, right? They're not hunters. Hunters are their parents that's going to get a job or another job. So they have to see the animals, also the good of it. Oh, they saw a bunny. Look how beautiful, how cute, outside the school, for example, outside the school grounds or somewhere, or when they went traveling, or when they went for a state or national park, they saw a bunny, or they saw all these other little animals, right? Oh, how cute. Oh, how beautiful. Yes, in kindergarten, elementary, they can have stories like that. Oh, I'm glad that this time the hunters were not here. It's okay, because they're children, right? We don't want them to play killing. It's forbidden for them to play killing. But they can mention, I'm glad it's not the hunter's day, all right? Because we're learning not to be killing, right? Not to be hurting others, not to be, even that they already can have some mention, gentle mentioning about hunters, okay? Because they're children still. Okay, and for middle and high school, we are also going to set up a way on if they really gonna do furniture or not, how many, how often. So basic, the ones we are sure they have to be making over and over, we're gonna see how many, are benches for outside, for example, right? Things that gonna damage with time. How to build a play set, a wooden play set, how often we are going to burn or not those things, because they have to learn, right? It's important for them to learn, have the basics and what they're gonna do. Cutting boards, simple cutting boards, how to do it, okay? And they're gonna be working, because as I said, it's important for them to build, because sooner or later they have to learn. So if we build benches, we're also going to give instruction on how the wood going to be, because first I said everything going to be only in hardwood. Oh, we're also going to plant hardwood for sure, right? Hardwood. But for the benches, for the playground, it's very important for everyone to learn how to do that. So how many years those furnitures need to actually take the screws out, reuse them because they're going to be really, really strong, right, to last for centuries, and which ones they're going to learn how to do it. And metals for high school, which ones they're going to deal with it. Goldsmithing, right? They're going to learn, start the basics also at high school, have very simple things, but to learn, because some of them will actually get the profession of making rings, right? Rings. And some professions that we won't use anymore. For example, maybe the rings themselves, because we're going to have so many, it's forbidden to bury, we're not burying anyone, but it's forbidden to send people to cremation with their jewelry, right? So the rings, we're not making over and over and over, yeah, so they're going to be used now. So, this will be part of the adjustment years, that for 10 years or so, right? Or even 4 years. Yeah, maybe 2 or 4 years. They're going to make all the ring that's possible with all the gold we already have and other things that, is authorized, such as earrings. So for all those professionals, we are not doing over and over. We have, and for the rings, for example. They're only going to learn, after that, they're only going to learn how to polish them. Couples on their anniversary or every 5 or 10 years or so, we're going to see a good rule. They can ask the people to polish, because we need things to keep going. We cannot, just, so they can polish their jewelry. I think every 5 years from their anniversary, right? Counting from their anniversary, every 5 years from that time, I think is good, because we need those students and also professionals on the future to be busy, right? Or which profession so simple that the high school gonna take care of themselves at their regular classes, such as polish wedding bands, right? I think that's really reasonable. They can also polish the mother's ring with a stone, because we're not making any new ones on the future. Those that have can be sold, on the numbers that already they are. It's forbidden to change their number. Oh, the person like that stone, like this ring or that ring. Oh, can you make it bigger? Can you make it smaller? No, it's forbidden. So we're going to see everything what's sustainable, because they're really not needed, right? Oh, you don't like? Okay, you don't like, choose another one. That's your number, right? So this way, we are going to have all the details, because it's not worth it for people to go to university to learn things that high school students can do it, or even at the adult education, because we need people busy doing good, positive things, right? Okay. For the inside furniture, that it's for forever, right? So every cabinet, every bed, every couch, table, it's to last forever, because they're really strong for housing, right? They're really strong. They need to be in a very hard wood. They need to have a very good natural or synthetic, which one we have right now that's the best for them to last forever. That they don't get stained with water. I have a table that never gets stained with water. And some tables, if you put the glass that's a little moist, they already get stained and doesn't get out. So we have to figure out, synthetic or not, natural or not, we have to figure out how to have all the furniture of the house that is 100% sustainable for millenniums. Also kitchen counters, right? Things like that, kitchen cabinets, bathroom cabinets, they need to be in hardwood. They cannot be on this press wood, I don't know the proper name, that with the years they start shredding on the bottom because of humidity, like in the bathroom, for example. So we cannot have that. But the outside furniture, that's what I'm saying, the outside furniture, we need to keep doing and learning because the weather eventually will hurt them, right? So we're gonna say which ones that does not need 100% hardwood, the real strong hardwood, because it's important for the students to be learning and getting into it, right? Even for the garden beds. So if they last, maybe what will be the most sustainable? We're going to make a study because I really don't know right now. We're going to make a study on how long they're going to last. And then they burn because they also need ashes. Ashes are very important, right? For the plants to have potassium. So how often those garden beds from the school, residential community, from everywhere, right? And which professions they need to go to university and which ones they don't, that they're going to study at the adult education and at the, they're going to be practicing, learning and practicing at the high school. So at the high school, they learn and they practice. At the adult education, for now, they also learn and practice, but on the future will only be, for extra things, for their own, right, their own area. We're going to be more like retired people, right? Elders in general that can fix few things here and there. Also, the difference, for example, at the adult education, it might have only hardwood, for example, because they can use their time with more dance and workout and swimming and planting, right? Instead of working with wood for their garden benches, for their food garden frames. But at the schools, we can use wood that's not so hard, not so durable, because they need this process of keep remodeling and redoing. Okay? All right, so we're going to have also these differences for schools, preschools, for example, the same way we are going to do hardwood the best as possible to last most as possible. The outside as well, to avoid, because it's going to take time, and it's not so safe for the students to be doing and bringing to preschool. So we're going to have all these details, I'm just giving some ideas right now. So we're going to study, and we have 2 years anyways. From the organization launching day, we have 2 years, 2 or 4. we still examining that, which one will be better to make any modification and improvement, because the main thing is for us to see the practice. So probably 4 years, right? And still make any adjustment needed, because as soon as we have our final international constitution, that will be what will be for the future of our humanity. And the other book that we're going to have is not about the 28 weeks anymore. It's about up to the first 20 years of the peace organization. Right? Because some things are for 28 weeks, some for 2 years, 4 years, 10 years, 20 years. So it's our adjustment time. Okay? So everyone going to be ready in that way with all the details on that book. Thank you so much, my friends. So get organized, get ready. Okay? All right. You're doing great. I hope you're doing great.